Is this the entrance, or?
If you have it all depends on what your pass is.
You know, I don't have a pass.
Unfortunately, it's a pass only event.
It's a private event. I was wondering if I'd be able to go in.
Finagle your way in.
Well, you know. So I'm Nancy Watzman with the Sunlight Foundation, which is a group based in DC, dedicated to watchdogging government using the latest internet technology. We've been following parties at both conventions. So I've been going by lots of parties in Denver, lots of parties in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Most of them are private parties. They don't let me in. They're sponsored by large corporations. A lot of times, companies that are sponsoring events both in Denver and Minneapolis, St. Paul. So one big example is at&t. They've sponsored lots of events in Denver, lots of events here in Minneapolis, St. Paul. They're a sponsor of this concert here tonight. They're doing it here in Minneapolis. They also threw a concert in Denver featuring Kanye West. There they wouldn't let me in, but somehow I got a pass here. And you can see this list of corporate sponsors from at&t, Comcast, Oracle, Microsoft, Fidelity, Recording Industry Association of America, Verizon. And they also had a sign up front, like they did in Denver, actually, which is interesting to me in a geeky way, saying that this was recognized as a widely attended event under the ethics rules for, I believe if I read the sign right, this is what they said in Denver, for the House, but not for the Senate. That's one of the exceptions under the ethics rules, where you're allowed to have a party where members of Congress and staff, high-level staff, are allowed to come. So the fact they have the sign means that they're expecting those people to come to this event. This is the kind of thing we've seen where corporations will give to both the Democratic, Republican convention host committees and then host all these parties, because basically what they're trying to do is build goodwill for whoever wins. I've gone by, I would say 20 parties over the last 2 weeks. I've only gotten into 3 or 4. Because most of these are private parties, the public's not allowed, and they're kind of big schmooze fest. They have drinks, they have food, and it's an opportunity for the lobbyists and other interests to kind of hobnob with the people who are here at the conventions, who will be in, decision-making positions depending on the election outcome. There's a loophole in election law that lets corporations, other interests, give unlimited amounts to the host committees, and they're expecting more than 110 million total. We don't know for sure because they don't have to report it till October. So right now we don't exactly know how much they're spending. As for these parties, we have no idea. They don't have to report it. So we really don't know how much all these parties are costing. In Denver, I was able to get into a reception that was sponsored by Aiken Gump, which is a big lobbying firm. They had lots of members of Congress, lots of representatives from corporations like Dow Chemical, at&t. It's just how kind of political business is done. Folks who can't afford to give that kind of money or host these kinds of events basically don't have that same kind of access. Actually, every day in Washington, there's all kinds of fundraisers and parties for members of Congress that are sponsored by lobbyists, and we'll be following that. We'll be putting those on our website, we'll be blogging about it, we'll be letting the public know about that. So it doesn't end with the conventions.